we are calling the meeting to order, and it is right now 7:04. So call to order at 7:04, and the first item on the agenda is for us to approve the minutes of 9:15. Now, I assume that everybody read them because you all were mailed the minutes. And so are there any changes, any corrections to that? No?
No.
Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion.
So Mary makes a motion to approve the minutes of 9/15/2020. So Mary, so we need to, for Heidi's, we need to make sure we have the names there.
Yeah.
So Mary moves accepting the minutes, Mary Tenero. Any second?
I'll second it. Mary Ann.
Seconded it. And everyone in favor, please. I have to call you each by name because I just read the Zoom protocol. So Heidi.
Yes. What's the correct terminology?
So Mary moved it. Mary Ann moved it. Kathy. Yes? You
Just say aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
You say aye?
Aye.
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 Yep. And
Aye.
Leslie, yep. And
Aye.
Kathy, and Brianna doesn't have to do it. And Lori. Lori, where did Lori go?
There.
Hi, Lori, are you approving the minutes?
She's on mute.
She muted.
She was on mute.
She's on mute.
She's on mute.
I don't have her. So
Sure.
Brianna, can you?
You can't control that.
Lori froze. Lori
I want to-
froze, so it might be her internet.
Okay,
1929
yeah, so
05
I think even if Lori
Meeting
would
ID.
accept the minutes,
Have the
the
agenda.
majority does. So
Okay.
we are accepting the minutes, we have
That must
approved
be the
them.
meeting ID.
Oh,
Passcode
here's Lori. Lori,
01306.
let me ask Lori to unmute.
If she would just look up.
Once again, I think
It's frozen.
I think Lori's internet, if you look at her, she's frozen. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think.
She's on mute.
Well,
Okay,
no, here she comes. Do you see her there? So she's
Oh, she
coming
must
back
have
in on
gone
her
to her
iPhone.
phone. Yeah.
So
okay,
it's just her
Oh,
internet.
she's.
okay, she is getting on the phone.
Brianna, can you make her that with the phone?
Anyway, I think we should go to the next item on the agenda, and that is the election of officers. Last September, at our September meeting, we did choose all the officers, and we forgot to appoint a secretary, and that was because Mary Tenero offered to take the minutes, and then we never thought anymore about the minutes. So we are asking Heidi if she is interested in being our secretary. If
Yes,
she
I am.
loves to be the secretary.
I nominate her.
Thank you.
Right.
Good job, Heidi.
But
My
you,
pleasure.
yes, I like that. It's my pleasure. So do we need to move that again the way we did move the other officers? Perhaps we
Yes.
should.
Yes,
Just-
I think we should nominate Heidi to be secretary.
Yep.
She should accept, and then we have to move to.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have nominated Heidi,
But
and
be clear, like that's okay, even though I'm not officially a commission member.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You will be sworn in before you know it.
Oh, there's Lori. Hi,
Everything is
Lori.
just taking a lot of time
It
this
is.
year.
Okay.
Anyway, is there anyone who wants to move to nominate Heidi?
I move that we
Marianne, you
nominate,
nominated Heidi.
I
Kathy,
no-
Let's
I
get,
move that we nominate Heidi to be the Secretary of the Beautification Commission for the year 2020, 2021. Yes?
Thank you. Who wanted to
Nick,
second?
second.
I second.
And Lori Hall seconds. And so we have to go again, do the whole thing. So who, all the people that
Aye.
approve? Aye.
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 I,
Aye.
Aye.
Yep, so we can go to number 3, which is standing reports. And Leslie is going to do 2 things during the standing report. She is going to do the treasurer's report. And then I think it would make sense to also add our budget review at the same time instead of putting that under new business. Do people feel comfortable doing that, putting both of those things together?
Yes.
Yep.
Sure.
So-
Yes.
Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
the budget review, which is itemizing the accomplishments and so on and so forth, was emailed to all of you. And so we can add or take things away from that as Leslie is running that part of the meeting.
Well, I think I sent everybody a copy of the budget from the town for the account. So we ended up getting we asked for 25,000 on the budget last year. And when it came out, we ended up getting 26,586. So it was an increase of 1,586. I don't know, I guess the town administrator just decided to add to it, which is unusual for them to be doing this. So at any rate, we started with that. We have an encumbrance of $486, which I'm in the process of talking to Nancy about. It's the bill for the tree that was put at Town Hall. And I was on the phone with Steve today, and he doesn't really, of Northern Oaks, he doesn't really, he should have a bookkeeper. He doesn't keep track of anything. So then I went back to Nancy. And we have paid for the 2 large invoices. He has been paid for that. But there is a question whether he ever got paid for the tree and the planting of it. He's really like loose about it, like, don't worry about it, blah, blah, but we need to get it off the books, whatever. I mean, I don't think it should be there. So at any rate, that's the only thing that's a little different. And then we've just paid Bill through July through October, Bill Morris for all the island work. So that's $4,400. And then the total to RNC for the mums for the fall were $305. So we have a balance of $21,395.
Wow.
So
wow.
yeah. And I mean, especially since we aren't sure which I guess we can talk about that with the budget, what we'll be doing in the spring. It's hard to plan. Even this year, it's going to be hard to plan. That's what I think personally.
Yeah.
So I know Karen, if I don't hear Karen, but I know she would like.
Can you hear
if
me
we
now?
had extra money.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I
Karen.
can
Hear you.
Okay,
Hear you.
sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, all right.
I unmuted myself.
Well, I'm kind of getting off topic. But I know that you have talked about wanting to do something with trees, but that's a whole other topic. Sitka, for what we want to do.
Yeah.
But that's really the treasurer's report. That we really haven't done anything other than the landscape with Bill. The other thing, that's really about all for the treasurer's report. Sorry. Keep thinking I'm missing something, but there really isn't much else. Are there any questions or?
Yeah, Leslie, this is Karen. Has Bill then been paid for the year or not been paid for the year?
No, we've only paid him from July through October.
Okay, well,
He gets paid 9 months for 9 months.
He did do Shones Island, and it took time for him to do the first parish island at the front of the town hall. So how do we handle that? Because he hasn't done the Shones Island, and that is an adopt-a-lot. I know we had discussed this, I think, at your house, but I mean, should we pay him the whole thing because he neglected that? He didn't even touch it.
Mary, is that still an adopt-a-lot?
Yeah,
I'm
Shones
sorry?
is definitely Adopt-a-Lot, yeah.
And he doesn't do adopt lots.
You mean the thing in front of Ronnie Shones?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
an Adopt-a-Lot sign in there. It's been there for years.
Why don't you let me talk to him?
Okay, yeah,
And then
However you wanna handle it,
I'll
but
get back to everybody.
yeah, I think it should be brought up.
All right.
So I think if we're going to bring it up, I think I'll make a note and we'll put it on the next agenda.
Sure.
Because it is a lot that has not been, on our horizon. So it's kind of, for me, popping out of nowhere. So I think we
Is
should
he
just
always
go
taking care of it?
Mm-mm. It used to
No.
be an
Say-
Adopt-a-Lot. It used
Yeah.
to have
Is that Kathy?
volunteers.
So how long has he been taking care of it?
I don't know. I mean, I
think 2
Like
years.
Donna really dealt with him, I didn't really, on the other islands, other than like Kathy would talk to him about the railroad islands, but I never got involved in that. I know he does St. Mary's, but I
Yeah.
didn't know the
Okay.
other
I'm
ones
only
he did.
assuming it was a private individual. It was a volunteer, I think, that was doing it. But I think that they probably assumed that because it's such a dangerous area, that
Yes.
he
Yeah.
would do that. But so I don't know if that's written somewhere or not. I just
Okay, so I
someone
think,
All
mentioned
right,
it to me.
I think we're going to need to do a little bit of looking
Sure.
into that. I'll call Donna.
Yes.
We'll, Kathy, Leslie, you can call
I'll call him.
Northern Oaks, and Mary, you may be able to kind of, flip through your adopt-a-lot lots, and then we can figure out where to go from there, on the next meeting.
Okay.
So I'd like to
Why
take
why don't
this,
I give Bill a call and see what
and
he,
and then
I should
we'll
call him
have it-
anyways. I wanted to check in with him and see how he was doing.
Yeah, I know
Right.
it. Yeah.
So we'll look at that at the November meeting, and then
Okay.
we have more information.
All right.
So that is the Ronnie Schoen lot is going to be moved to the November meeting for discussion.
Right. So any other questions about the treasure report?
Nope.
No,
Good job.
thank you, Treasurer.
I don't feel like I'm doing anything really.
Oh, yes, you are. Better you than me.
So do you want to do the budget now, Sitska? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, is that okay with folks, since we are right with our treasurer, and also the meetings to present the budget that we come up with are going to be in December and also in January, and Leslie will be presenting those, and I'm happy to join you, Leslie, and anybody else who wants
That'd
to
be great.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, when I went over, I mean, everybody got what you sent everybody the budget. So it's pretty, we talked about it last week. I mean, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. The main question would be is that if anybody had changes they wanted to make after reading it.
Yes, actually, we never added ship shape date to this document,
Oh,
which is one of our big goals. And I think that was brought up, and I forgot to add that.
oh,
And the other thing with accomplishments, I did not add, and this was also something that I should have added. I should have added that we managed the merchant flower program with 46 merchants participating.
I think you did.
Did you have that?
Back under accomplishments, I thought.
Yeah, but I don't have it on the one that I sent out to you. And then,
Yes, through email and during phase 3 in-person contacts, managed our merchant flowers program.
oh yeah, you're right. I didn't see that. You're right. Okay, so then there's one more that I was wondering if we would be interested in adding that. and that is a goal to develop relationships with commissions and boards whose decisions may have a visible impact on the town.
Definitely add that, I think.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
Do you feel, because the way how we could do that is, I have been starting to read the minutes of all of those commissions that do make decisions about the town. And I thought we may want to just divvy up that each board member reads the minutes of one of these commissions and alert us if there's anything in there that is of importance for us to know.
Sounds like a good plan.
Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
comfortable
Yes.
with
I mean,
that?
I'm on the
would make
beach
sense.
commission, so I could provide information about that.
Yeah,
We actually are trying
I-
to come up with a total of how many beach stickers we need to order this year, right? At a meeting tomorrow night. How many do you think they print, like they printed last year for Scituate beach stickers? I really didn't know how many.
well,
6,900.
I was gonna say about 7,000.
wow,
Huh.
Yeah. So now because there's been all the new development, so now they're going to add. They're trying to figure out how many to add for that. So they ran out of beach stickers last year. I didn't know you could run out. If you're a taxpayer, I would
Yeah,
think you should always be able to get a
A beach sticker.
beach
One
sticker.
would think so, yeah.
So I'm going to bring that up at the meeting tomorrow because that doesn't sound right. But
yeah. So listen, so then at the November meeting, I'll come up with a list of all of the commissions in town, and
Yeah.
we can all pick one whose minutes we're planning to read.
Okay.
So,
all right, sounds good.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
yeah, and I was particularly intrigued when I looked at the work that Leslie Dinell's group did on the landscaping around the memorial benches at Minus, and how beautiful that was. And what a shame it is that neither at the Marine Park, where they placed benches, there has been any thought of, making a path so that you can sit on the bench and actually look into the harbor and have some grass behind you to feel shielded so you can really focus. Anyway, I'd love to make sure that those kind of things that we may be aware of placement of different objects, that we may encourage them to enhance or
Yeah.
think of landscaping. Okay, so
If I could just add one thing, the only other thing I wanted to add for accomplishments is the first line, implemented phase 2 of town hall landscape as designed, and maintained and did the maintenance or something throughout the summer.
so
We
implemented
didn't just
and
put a plan in and then leave it, is my point. I just wanted to figure out a way to write something that we actually took care of it
Yeah, implemented
summer.
and maintained.
and
through
maintained.
summer.
Yeah,
Implemented and maintained phase 2 through summer
By whom?
by Leslie, by commission.
whatever. You don't.
Leslie,
I don't want my name there. I don't want my
Her
name.
little elf helpers?
I just want it to be known, and if we do another project like next year or something, I mean, it just could be something we could do. But I think it should be noted. That's all.
Yeah, just say implemented and maintained. If
Yeah,
you don't
that's
want
all.
your name there.
Nothing. No,
All right.
So
they already know my name around town hall. Too many.
well, we are really flying in on Leslie's coattails and Mary's as well, because they really love the Beautification Commission, because we made their workplace so pleasant to be at, right? It's lovely, so it's great. So this particular document is due on November the 3rd in Word format, and I will be putting it together, finalizing it. I'll send it out to all of you just to make sure. Mary Tenero always has a good eye for spelling mistakes.
That's
And
easy.
then And then I'll email it out to Nancy Holt. And then,
One other question I thought we could talk about is like, I think we need to have a figure in mind of what we would be asking for our budget. Like when we go in December and January, we have to have, remember, we had to have a figure. So I think, I don't know if we have to decide that now, but.
well, the document that you sent me from Nancy did reiterate that we have to ask for a level budget. So no.
So we wouldn't go any higher.
Yeah. None of the departments can ask for an increase.
Yeah, considering they gave us one.
When does that go in, Leslie?
They gave us more than one. We were at 23,650. Then we asked for it to be 25,000, and then they went up to 26,586.
Woohoo!
So I don't know if we go with that or we go back down to 25.
No.
I think you go down. I don't have to go down.
26,586.
Yes.
Let's just be grateful for what they're giving us.
That's right.
And we can do some really nice things. So because which is something that we can all start thinking about, so that at the November meeting we can start choosing some nice project to work on.
I have an idea for a project.
Yes.
So we're going to go and collect all of those, and then that's going to be November's meeting. Otherwise, they have nothing to do in November. Next thing is railroad crossing.
Well, the only thing we really, or that one of the things we do this time of year is we have to put the order in at RNC for the petunias.
Yeah. It says when we purchase the petunias, we have to vote on that.
Right.
The amount of money that you want to spend.
Well, I know, not last year, the year before we spent almost, it was like 1,900. Last year it was around 1,700.
So
I think that was
what do you think this year?
plenty, but I mean, I think that would be fine. The same, roughly the same amount.
17 or 19?
We're going to have to replace on those islands. We're going to have to replace like Hollitt Street where a car ran over, so that we need to replace some things there. We probably need some more.
Recently, a car ran over there?
Yeah. Half of the 1/4 of the island is missing all its nepeta. We never put it back. And we also probably should put in more Carl Forrester, that grass I thought looks very well in some of the other areas.
That's great. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and also maybe some more evergreens down in North Scituate. So we do need budget for all of that.
But that would be, we could wait for that for next spring.
Yeah,
probably.
as long as we have the money in our budget now or whenever we need to put it in.
Or plan.
Because we are going to need some more plantings, yeah.
So
right.
you want to come up with an amount for our November meeting so that we can vote on the amount of money that you can talk about with RNC?
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure we still want to continue with the pink petunias? Or is anybody thinking of changing? I mean, that would change our budget that we'd need to.
It does?
Change
Why?
it to what?
Aren't they all the same price?
I don't know.
I like the color. To be honest, I would like something with color there. But if we did something different, I mean, Kathy, what do you think?
We picked that particular petunia because it's the strongest. I mean, you still have some of it blooming when it's never even been watered for the whole summer. The reason that color was picked was because it was the strongest of all of those petunias from proven winners. I don't know if there's something that they have going now. I don't know if we could put an annual in, something like Dusty Miller that's really zero, pretty tolerant if we wanted to change it up to do something else.
But it doesn't have the color.
No, it doesn't have color.
And the color shows up so nice when you pull up in your car. I really like it.
Yeah, the whole idea is
as
that,
you all know.
Yeah, these are.
Well, I mean, we could
islands
do a different color. We could do purple and.
I was just gonna say
Or-
purple.
So
we
I
could
mean, we
try,
could do-
I mean, we could try the purple. There was a purple one that was put in there that was lighter that did seem to last. Again, that
It didn't
particular
last the season, I don't think.
No, that particular petunia was picked for the strength of the petunia as well as the, even more so than the color. That was considered
Yeah.
the strongest of the landscape petunias by proven winners. So
And
that's
also
why
is what
that was
Bill
proven.
Morris puts in all over town. And so they combine the orders, and I don't know if we really get a deal on that or not, but it's a lot of petunias. But there is a reason Bill puts it around town too, because it shows up and it lasts.
I have to say, I do like all those petunias, and I like the way the railroad islands looked.
Yeah. Can we do
And
two-tone?
I
Purple and pink?
like the purple and the pinks.
Yeah. I think the combination is even more striking, but
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
more
because-
about the pink is the one that'll last longer is I mean, that's why we did it.
I
Yeah.
thought
A
they
lot
were
of why
very
we did
nice.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could try it and see. Again, we don't even know if these islands are going to be watered next year. That was a whole issue this year, which is
Yeah.
a major issue, is watering on those islands. I
Right.
mean, those petunias were able to do what they did because we had an early, wet spring, but they were never watered once this summer,
Yeah.
other than by nature.
Yeah.
So that becomes an issue unless we can find under our a way to water those islands, other than either having the town do it if we have someone designated, not a summer help, or if we have to find someone who would water those islands and pay them, separately. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to address that. And that was kind of a major discussion last year.
Yeah.
So,
And of course, everything fell apart this year because students couldn't come because of all the pandemic
COVID. So,
rules that are around. So let's just hope that next year there won't be a drought and there won't be a pandemic.
Right.
yeah.
But so you want to start thinking, Kathy and Leslie, about a budget that you want us to approve? If not now, think about it for a November meeting.
Well, we don't usually do a budget for the spring until we see
Okay.
what lasts, right,
I
Kathy? I
just-
mean, I
Yeah,
have
that's what-
trouble.
Yeah.
we usually, walk through and see what we need and kind of come up with some sort of
Okay. I just
number.
go through this list that I still have from Donna, that Marianne and I both did get from Donna. And so under the October one, it says vote on a petunia budget.
Well, we do have to vote on that. We do have to vote on that because Bronny has to know what our count would be to
Okay.
plant them.
Yeah, those
All
have to
right.
go in because he has to raise them. So those have to kind of
Right.
go in way
Okay.
before spring.
Okay, so we can vote today on a budget for petunias?
Do we level budget it from the last one? Well, we
Well,
don't know if do you know what it was, Leslie, for just the petunias?
It was 17, I have so many papers around here. 1749, so
Was that for
1750.
the whole, but that's for the whole town, isn't it? Or was
No,
that just ours?
the town part was 1209.
Really, that much in petunias, huh?
Yep.
That's
Wow.
like 30. So it's like $3,000 roughly?
No, our part is only, well, yeah, actually it was about 3,000. 2,900, yeah.
So
Like a
Do you-
lot of money for petunias,
It is.
doesn't it?
A lot of petunias.
Well, the year
No.
before it was more than that.
No, it
Well,
just seems so
I
high.
know. I know.
Well, Leslie, do you want to talk with Ronnie and find out what the cost would be, approximately now, and then we vote on it in November?
Sure, I could do that.
Yeah. And, we have a lot of it, when I am going into Front Street, there are lots of petunias there too. So I do see petunias all over. So, okay, so November
All right.
meeting. So I'll add
All
that
right.
too. So we're going to vote on petunias for railroad islands. Okay.
Great.
Any more questions for Leslie about the budget or the FY22 budget? No?
Nope.
So Mary is going to let us know how wonderful all of the adopt-a-lots look and how happy all of her volunteers are.
They do look wonderful. I mean,
They
Yeah, they
do.
do. They really do. Yeah. You did a very good job.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, I wished all of them had agreed to put even just in 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and maybe next year they will.
It looks great at Cole Parkway and you know, those are and at the harbor plot, Leslie's plot. Those I see a lot.
No, the adopt-a-lots look fabulous, and it
Yeah.
was so easy to do the mums. I mean, it was just not a big deal at all. So, I'm thrilled with it, and hope they do it every year.
Who does Branch Street?
Pardon?
Who does the Branch Street Island?
Donna used to do that,
That's
right?
Dobbs.
Oh, someone needs to bring a couple of rocks at the corner because trucks keep driving over the plants.
Yeah, there's always a problem there.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
Donna.
there needs to be a good sized rock. I asked Mike Breen, but he didn't have any rocks.
Yeah.
Oh,
If anybody has a good sized rock that can be dropped at the corner, it would prevent the trucks from going over the island and killing the plants.
Well, I think I'd be careful with us putting rocks anywhere because if something goes awry, we're going to be responsible. So
We
I would
already are
prefer-
responsible. It's adopt a lot.
I
And there's a rock at the other corner, so there shouldn't be a problem with a rock there.
Well,
Nobody's supposed to be driving over the island to begin with. They need to learn how to drive around that corner.
Yeah, but I would prefer for us not to make any physical changes by adding rocks or taking away rocks because unless we go and check with legal counsel as to what happens if something's going to happen at that point. I'd be very careful.
Those things happen. When I used to do the library garden, you would think that would be safe, right? No. We always had people back into the garden or back over it, or it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So
Lord.
you just take a risk. And,
So you wanted to share your lot 27 concern?
well, as I think you all know, Doug Litchfield left the commission and supposedly gave up his lot, which is on the Driftway. And Jean Marie Volger, who has been doing the Elephant Garden, and also she took over a second one this year. She asked if she could have that lot. And again,
Wow.
we were confused because we never hear from Doug. So I
So can I interject?
called him, never got a response. And so finally Sitka wrote this very lovely letter.
But Mary, he did email the commission last April, which
that
says,
was on a whole different thing.
oh,
He emailed me too and said,
I didn't get my $50 what's up.
Money.
Yeah.
Money for plants.
Typical Doug.
That
Yeah.
sounds like Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I responded and said, you didn't get an approval for it because you told us you were no longer a caretaker.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was taken care of. Yeah.
So that was last spring, but then we never heard from him. And as many of you have said, that lot looks terrible. It's not been kept up. And it was originally, Kathy, it was Steve's, right? Before Doug.
Yes, yeah, it
Yes.
was. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So he took over Steve's, and I know it's filled with perennials and all kinds of things that belong to Doug, but he's not responding. So Siska wrote this very nice letter to him. You haven't sent it yet, or you have sent it?
No, because I know Doug is going to be unhappy, so I just wanted to make sure that all of the commissioners are
Send
kind of.
it when you're going out of town.
Well, but I just, to me, it was very important that he knows it is coming from all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very
My
nice.
Facebook.
I thought, Siska, you should have put all our names on the letter, not instead of just yours, so you're not like the target.
Just said beautification. You don't even have to put your name, but
Yeah.
but I am going to turn it over to Jean Marie. She does a
Yeah.
fabulous job, and if he has an issue, then he better speak up before the spring.
So we don't need to take a vote of it. I just want to make sure that everybody has seen the letter that we're sending. I'll send it out tomorrow and I'll email it to him. So he'll get it both in an email and a hard copy.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the thank you letter to Lot 27 volunteer.
Yes. Thank you.
And just, you know, I think that would be the best way, Heidi, to put it in the minutes.
Yeah.
Deb has no update for the IT. Merchant coordinator, we don't have a merchant coordinator as of this point. I know that we've been talking about you know, seeing if that is something that we can share, but at this point there's no update from a merchant coordinator. But we have been trying to tweak Les Powell's arm, see if she wouldn't be interested in you know, working with the merchant community.
Would you do it, Leslie?
Yep, I would.
Oh, good.
Would you be interested in doing that?
Yes, I
We
would.
will help you. We will help you.
And we all will do
Oh, yeah,
anything
we'll all
you
help.
want us to do.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, all
I'm gonna need some guidance, of course, and
I'll show you. I'll give you what we have from last year and the last 5 years, actually. We'll run
Great.
through stuff together. I've got it all here.
sure,
So,
great.
I was curious about that program. Why are there so many people not using the vouchers, do you think? Have you heard from merchants
Yes.
why they're not doing it?
This year, the reason was the COVID experience, because many of the stores were closed
Okay.
and some of the telephones were shut off.
Yeah.
We had to get emails for every store that was in the 3 districts, and not everybody had emails. So we did the best we could. We got email addresses, sent out merge letters, merge database.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And they were all offered, but a lot
Yeah.
of people just didn't participate because of the COVID experience.
Yeah. Makes sense.
so we're going to list Leslie P. Les Powers. We're going to list you on the board list as the merchant coordinator.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'll update that with the list, and then we have Heidi. But I don't think we need to vote on that.
okay.
And then so that's great. And then Lori is in charge of Plant Scituate, and there's not much to do at this point, right?
No, I would say at the February meeting, we should start to plan, and we'll see where we're at that point. I mean, because we would love to get into the schools and do an education aspect, but who knows at that point.
And Lori, do you also want to be, because I noticed looking over past board lists, Mary Tenero, you at one point were the educational coordinator for the, and I never realized we had an educational coordinator. Would you be willing to take that on as well?
Well, I think what we did, right, Lori did the preschools.
Yeah,
I did the upper grades.
Right.
yeah.
At one point, we were working with the high school kids. They had an adopt-a-lot, and I was going over there, and then that sort of fizzled. And we just, for Plant Scituate, we just did
Combined.
the school and the elementary school, and
Yeah.
we ran that poster contest, which was really great.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I
that
think
was good.
Wonderful.
I
Yeah.
think that's how we'll continue, is that, Leslie, Lori does the preschools and I'll do the elementary.
So Lori and Mary, so we don't need to have a standing report from the Education Commission. We don't
No.
need that. Okay. I just wanted to double check, as I'm going through old minutes to see that. So this brings us to section number 4. Are there any more questions?
No.
No? So I told you I'd get an update on the Cole Parkway. And so I do have that. So I looked at the Cpc approved plans. They were approved in 2018, and they finally did get the money for doing that in 2020. According to, and the person who is on that list is Lorraine on behalf, Lorraine, I can't think of her last name.
Devlin?
Devlin?
Lorraine Devlin on behalf
Devlin.
of the select board. And what she said is that all of the plans have been implemented with the exception of the trees and the bronze plaques. So once the trees, she said, trees have been chosen, they're shade trees to be planted to shade folks seated on the benches. The benches that were placed there were chosen by the Cedar Point Commission to match the benches at the lighthouse. Once so the certified tree specialists have chosen these shade trees, and I think, Karen, you know what the name of them is, right?
They're honey locusts.
Honey locusts. And I don't know if they're ordered. My sense is they are, and they will be put in the spring. They're going to be, they have bronze plaques that will be affixed to the ground, but not to the trees.
What will they say?
That I don't know. I think, I don't know if it's going to say CPC, because they're the ones that paid for it, or if these are.
It definitely will then,
Weren't they
yes.
supposed to be memorial trees?
Yeah, but she wasn't very specific on that, so I don't know. So I'll I can find out, but there will be trees. There are going to be bronze plaques that, and if they're, and I don't know whether they're going to be CPC or, so-and-so in memoriam of so-and-so, but they're going to be affixed to the ground, not the trees.
Good.
Whatever they're going to come up with. Then the Sister City Island Committee, Brenda O'Connor is the chair of that. They're involved in developing an historical island path from Boston to Plymouth. And I can send you Brenda's email, or I can contact her if you want to see how that is going to develop. They're not going to do anything more besides planting some more plantings around the monument that is there, the Irish monument. So, and then the last thing that is happening with Cole Parkway is that
Excuse me, is someone getting a ringing? Someone getting a ringing sound as I am?
Yeah.
It's my, it's my phone.
Your cell phone?
Okay, Kathy. So the docks are going to be put on pylons like they are at the Marine Center, and that's what they're going to be working on, I guess, over the winter.
Okay, this is what we need to see before things like this are done. Because
What are they doing at the?
There's going to be enormous mishmash of things down by Cole Parkway, and it's going to look awful.
Yeah,
This
but
is
you
why
know
this-
something? We cannot put a halt to it. It's
No, not now we can't, but this is why we need to have everybody consult with us, so we can say, okay, this was going to look nice, or maybe we make suggestions.
Yeah, or we can, as I said, I think we could try to develop ways to stay in touch with everybody, because the problem that I have I have no problem in wanting to have input on a plan if we know it exists, right? But I think we have to be very careful by offering our support to every organization in town.
I agree.
Because
I disagree with that completely. I totally disagree with that. We are the Beautification Commission. We should be consulted about these things, and people shouldn't be just being allowed to go and do whatever they want. The town is going to look awful if this continues.
Well,
we need to be consulted. We're not stepping on anybody's toes. We're aiding them. We're assisting with this.
I agree, and I think, but I also think that we have to be careful to go and put ourselves out there, willing to consult on any project, because we would be overwhelmed. And how are you going to choose between one group and another? I think we have to be very careful. What I do think we have to do is I'm going to be attending the CPC meetings, since they're on Zoom. They're every first Monday. I know Leslie is reading minutes, right, Leslie?
Yes.
I'm reading minutes. I have been contacting the heads of different boards to just let them know that we are there, and that I'm trying to get in touch with everybody whose commissions is making the town look beautiful. And I'm also saying, we have an annual tree planting. If you have any suggestions for trees that needed, where you would like a tree to be planted, let us know. We can choose from, if there are 5 people, we have something to choose from. But I'm very careful to stay away from the word, we're happy to consult with you, because I don't think that we should put ourselves in that position.
Well, it could be very overwhelming, because because you can either be totally like, okay, if anybody's doing anything around town, you have to go before the Beautification Commission, kind of that attitude. And then you've got to, everybody's going to have different opinions of whether that would work or not. I mean, I just could see it not being very black and white, and that could be pretty messy and also pretty time consuming for all of us. And I don't have the knowledge either.
And we don't have power. We can't make it happen anyway. So the one thing that I do feel we can do is, we know that there's a project happening, is to make sure that I'm happy to send a letter or whatever, that they have our 2 cents worth that, so that we're not going to go and have, again, rows of benches that are being placed on the tarmac and there's no planting around it. So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you were through.
Nope.
It seems as if Lorraine Devon reviews and has a lot of control over these different projects, like the trees down at Cole Parkway and the Irish Memorial and the benches. Is there not some way we could ask Lorraine to let us know when things are going on?
It seems that way because they, let me tell you what she wanted, right? It seems that way, right? Because the selectmen are throwing that to her. But the reality is that she really doesn't have that power either. So she gave me a sheet of a recommendation for the town of Scituate, right? For a memorial committee that should include the Beautification Commission, the Conservation Commission, the Beach Commission, the Recreation Commission, DPW Public Grounds, the Scituate Public Schools, and she said to me, and she had some other thing, and she said to me, the selectmen want to have nothing to do with that. So, so they're just kind of throwing it to her, but I don't think she really has power.
No, but she has knowledge, and she could maybe fill us in.
She's happy to share that.
Plus,
He is
she is the
making all-
one that is known for, if you want to do a memorial for a family member, Lorraine is where all the calls are directed.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
But they're not doing any more memorial benches because there's no place to put them.
Well,
Oh,
the selectmen
maybe they
didn't,
could do trees.
she went to
No,
the
they're-
selectmen, and the selectmen, she wanted to put a moratorium on memorials, and the selectmen said no. So she's going to be bombarded continuously with these memorial requests.
Well,
What is her
anyway,
title exactly? Who is she? I remember seeing it on one of the emails. What?
She's the secretary for the selectmen.
She's the secretary for the selectmen. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Nice lady.
yeah,
Very
she's,
nice.
and she works long hours and,
She does.
Oh, she's
So-
overwhelmed.
yeah,
She's
and
she's
they're
definitely
using
overwhelmed.
her. I think they're kind of using her, but,
Yeah, we don't,
She actually asked me when I was up there, because I had to pick something up there. She said, well, you can take it over. I said, I'll be glad to. But I'm limited, unfortunately, with this email thing. I'd be happy to take over the memorial thing. You know, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Let people come to me. I could handle it. But, I just have to figure out how I do it. That's the problem. So maybe I can talk to Lorraine if that were to be the case.
well,
And then I would be sort of the liaison for the Beautification Commission, and I'd be the connection for this. But we'll have to discuss this further, I guess.
yeah. Anyway, I think my first tack at this, because we've been going around this now for so long, I think my first tack is to find out what is, from reading the minutes, what is happening, and I will continue to stay in touch with Lorraine. And Lorraine assured me that there were no more benches because there's no
No more
place to put
space.
them.
no more space.
No more space. And then the other thing, Driftway Park is, there have been plans for the past 6 years to renovate that and replace the cement benches. Anyway, I thought she gave me a lot of time and a lot of information, and I feel that even though she knows a lot, she doesn't have the power to make things happen, which is interesting to me. So
The power is
Anyway.
with the selectmen.
I was going to say, yeah.
that's right. And so
It is.
I'm going to be also.
Or Al Bankert. Is
Is
still has a
Bankert
real
still working
pull.
for? Oh, is he still
I don't
working
think
for the
so.
town?
He was going in, I know he had his own little office. He kind of took over where the selectmen, I don't know. I heard a story that he put his little office over there, and he has his coffee maker, and he's not there every day or anything like that, but I think he's involved in, I'm not sure what it is, some little projects or something. And he definitely has a lot of sway, Al. Still, a lot of respect for him.
Okay, so the people that I should focus on are Laura, who hasn't, Maura, who isn't super helpful. And I know that Marianne has found that too. I mean, she's nice, but she's busy too, I guess. So I'll keep in touch with Maura, with Lorraine, with Al. I will finish up the emails to all of the chairs of commissions that help make the town look good, and we'll are going to figure out at our next meeting a way to divide looking at the minutes of different commissions. I'd rather go make a soft approach than saying you better check with us.
I agree.
No, that isn't what I was saying, Sietske. If it came off that way,
No.
that was-
But I do think I've looked at a lot of different approaches, and
Sure.
so I thought we'll start with this one, and if it doesn't get us anywhere, we'll not ratchet up a notch.
Yeah, because honestly, being somebody new to all of this, and I'm looking at the mission statement for this group. And it really is to make sure, you know, through planting and also maintaining selected public spaces. So as Karen is saying, like that whole area, we should have input on, you know, if there's going to be a big change there. And but there is a fine line of doing it so that you're not overwhelming yourself, but also.
And I like the input part, right? So I'm very happy, and we have I've been telling everybody that we have a bunch of people that are really expert with plants and flowers. I'm particularly thinking of Kathy and Leslie and Mary and this Leslie. I know it's not me, but I have finally figured out what is a weed, right, Mary Tenero?
A weed is just a plant in the wrong place. That's all.
They can be pretty.
So anyway, so for the November meeting, right now, we're going to talk about the Ronnie Schoen law. We're going to vote on petunias. We're going to divvy up who is going to look at which minutes and kind of keep track of projects that are happening in the town. So, guess what? We are at new business, which is discussing our November meeting date, which is November the 17th, Tuesday. And I believe that Thursday is Thanksgiving. So I wanted to see, do we want to meet on the 17th?
I have no problem.
I have no
Sure.
problem.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
That's fine by me. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
I know I have nobody coming, so
I'm not cooking a turkey.
okay,
That's
so
good for the turkey.
okay. Are there any other aspects, any other new business? So I on my notes, I put down notes, but what I really want to do is, so I want to give a shout out to Seth Pfeiffer, because he was really wonderful in getting us started
Yes.
and getting us all
Thank
on
you.
there.
Awesome.
I want to
Thank
thank
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Successful. Yay.
He's mute, he can't hear you.
No,
We can.
he just put his fingers up. So and the other part is thank you, Leslie, for showing us your patio. That was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're
that's
welcome.
lovely.
Everybody
Couldn't
came.
make
That was
it.
fun. Great.
Yeah, and telling us how to make
That's
these wonderful salted caramel brownies.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
bought the
called
box mix yet?
Duncan Hines.
And
Cisco was very impressed by those brownies. They were delicious.
Duncan Hines, Sitska. The Village Market has them.
so guess what? Lori, I emailed you and I said, now let's hope that we can stay within 60 minutes. And guess what?
Did you do it?
We did.
We did. That's
Woo!
amazing.
Oh my,
That's
I
great.
am
to adjourn.
impressed.
that's what
Wow.
it should be.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
Nice
Good job.
Well, I'm
Yes.
thrilled. So I'll send you all the stuff for the next meeting. And before that, though, I will send you the final copy of the FY22 report.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth.